Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud buds. Everybody watches the stud buds. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, stud buds stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago.
Angel Reese was out there dishing turnovers like Oprah on a giveaway spree. You get the ball. You get the ball. Meanwhile, the stud buds didn't just clock in. They put on a full-blown comedy special. This wasn't a basketball game. It was a live blooper reel. If you've ever asked what it looks like when swagger crashes headfirst into disaster, this was it. A full-court roast session. And the heat's still rising.
He's had 9 turnovers. Yo, listen, y'all gotta stop with this point forward foolishness, man. Let's take a look, man. Hold on, man. Y'all be wildin'. Y'all be wildin', son. Bruh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta stop.
One turnover away from a triple-double. You read that right. Angel Reese was flirting with basketball history, but not the kind you celebrate. This wasn't a moment for plaques or highlight reels. It was the kind you quietly delete from the record books. 9 turnovers. That's not a stat line. It's a cry for help. She looked less like a power forward and more like the founder of a fast break charity. Hey, take the ball. You need this more than I do.
The entire WNBA and Angel Reese in garbage time. We saw it. Angel Reese last year against the Fever. With like 2 minutes to go. She needed to, I think it was like 6 points and 3 rebounds. And she went and caught like 2 rebounds. And then immediately goes at Victoria Saxton 3 times.
At this point, the only reasonable conclusion is that the coaching staff is in on the joke. This isn't basketball. It's experimental theater. A satirical take on offensive schemes gone wrong. Because every time they try to involve her in a real set, the paint turns into a full-blown traffic jam. Bad enough to make rush hour in LA look like a joyride. You can practically hear the lane begging for mercy every time she posts up like she's pitching a tent for the weekend. And as for the pick and roll, please. The only thing rolling is the ball, straight into the opponent's hands.
After this opponent gets close to her during a box out, grabs her by her hips, and hip tosses her, throwing her to the ground. She stands up, she walks over to this opponent, bends over, screams in her face, and flips her the double bird. That's the WNBA gold. We're gonna get into it. And the laughter, oh, Angel. Oh, my angel, you're my darling, angel. You've been playing well, Angel. I give it to you. You've been playing well. But every now and then, those stinkers, oh man.
So rather than risk a complete offensive meltdown, they've handed her the honorary title of facilitator, which is cute, if this were recess and not professional basketball. Facilitator, as in, please just pass the ball before this turns into a crime scene. Because when she's not dishing it off, she's bricking. When she's not bricking, she's flailing. And when she's not flailing, she's on a full-blown journey, traveling both literally and spiritually to a place nowhere near the rim.
Like, there's absolutely no foul in that. She gets a good whistle, jumps up, and then goes at somebody on the other team. Who's she go at? She goes at Diamond Miller, her former Maryland teammate. And, like, Angel's 1 tech off a suspension as well. And is like, anytime anyone gets into it with her, she's straight in their face. And I'm like, I don't mind that. But you just gotta be smart. To be fair, the sky sucks, so you might as well just go and take your, I'll say it.
This isn't just about a few bad games anymore. This is starting to feel like a full-blown basketball cover-up. Everyone's too polite to say it out loud, but the truth's hanging in the air like a missed free throw. Reese is flat-out terrible. Not rookie growing pains bad. Not just off tonight bad. We're talking why is she even on the floor? Bad. Garden gnomes pivot better. Scarecrows have softer hands. And yet, there she is, gumming up the offense like chewed-up gum jammed in a vending machine slot. But God forbid anyone actually benches her. No, that would mean admitting the whole PR campaign was smoke and mirrors. That would mean pulling back the curtain on months of empty hype and recycled highlight clips. So instead, she's left to stand awkwardly at the top of the key, flailing her arms like she's directing traffic, while her teammates dart around her like it's a fire drill. Spoiler, she's not orchestrating anything. The only play she's making is for the blooper reel. Sure, the ball's going somewhere. It's just usually ending up in the wrong hands, wearing the wrong jersey.
She was turning her season around. Just when I thought Angel Reese was graduating from pretend basketball player to make-believe basketball player, the level where it's almost believable that Angel Reese is a basketball player. Just when I thought Angel Reese would pull through in the clutch and do America a favor. With a win last night against the Minnesota Lynx, Angel Reese would have become the most popular player in the WNBA dump. Well, KC, that's simply not possible. Caitlin Clark will always be the most popular player in the WNBA.
The worst part, you can actually see the team adjusting to her limitations in real time. Watch the spacing. Watch the hesitation. Teammates avoid cutting toward her like she's a black hole, because nobody wants to be the next victim of a rogue pass, a mistimed screen, or a dribble that ends up bouncing off her own foot. It's not offense, it's damage control. They are not running plays, they are defusing a live grenade. And the irony? It's almost poetic. For all the noise about leadership, grit, and that mythical championship DNA, Reese has become the anchor dragging this team down. Not in the stabilizing sense, but in the we're sinking and no one brought a life vest kind of way. 0.9 turnovers isn't a growing pain. It's a full-blown basketball identity crisis. Standing in the dunker spot while your teammate gets double-teamed isn't spacing. It's just being in the way. At this point, the only thing Reese is facilitating is fast breaks for the other team. She's not a playmaker. She's a plot twist. And not the good kind. The kind that sends your season off a cliff.
Hi, people are defending this. Let's get into it. Nneka Ogwumike, she gets up, proceeds to get boxed out, unable to move her opponent out of the way. Nneka Ogwumike retaliates, grabs her by the hips, throws her to the floor, stands over her, screams on her, flips her the double bird. Quinterly, Dallas Wings' teammate, being a good teammate, gets in the middle of the two, pushes Nneka out of the way like a good teammate should. Instead of saying, Nneka, come here, let me get you a hug. No, get up off my teammate, girl. Get up off my teammate. Nneka Ogwumike can't let it go.
You know it's bad when the opposing team is actively rooting for her to touch the ball. They bait her like she's the weak hinge in a rusted fence. You can practically hear the opposing coach muttering from the sidelines, let her cook. Fully aware the dish is raw, the oven's cold, and the kitchen is already on fire. And let's not even talk about transition defense. Watching her jog back after coughing up the ball is like watching someone try to run in flip-flops. Sure, there's movement, technically, but it's mostly for show. The body language tells the real story. Frustration without urgency, effort without execution, vibes without results. Which brings us back to the coaching staff. They know. They have to know. You don't stumble into this many offensive train wrecks and still think, yup, let's run that back. This isn't a game plan. It's denial disguised as development. They've taken the path of least resistance. Use her as a decoy, dress it up as growth, and pray no one reads the box score too closely, yet the charade rolls on. Press conferences padded with vague praise. Social media clips drenched in slow-motion drama, carefully edited to cut just before the turnover. Because the truth? That wouldn't fit the narrative.
With a win last night, Angel Reese would have surpassed the Rue from Waterloo in popularity. Now, I am not saying that her dozens of aliases would have passed Caitlin Clark, but Angel Reese herself, she definitely would have. Going into the game last night, Cheryl Reed, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, she told the doofus duo who refer to themselves as stud buds, she told them, if they lost this game to the Chicago Bravado, they would no longer be allowed to stream on Twitter.
The entire operation has become a masterclass in selective editing. Frame the narrative just right, and maybe, just maybe, people will forget the score. Or that the team got run off the court while their so-called star tripped over her own momentum. Meanwhile, the rest of the roster pays the price. Players who can shoot, who do move, who actually understand how a shot clock works. They are being sacrificed at the altar of brand preservation. Because this isn't about winning anymore. It's about saving face. About avoiding the PR disaster that comes with admitting a misfire. And that's the real tragedy. Angel Reese didn't ask to be overhyped. But now she's caught in the middle of a three-headed monster: hype, delusion, and denial. That's the actual triple-double. Some of you'll get hypnotized by the box score. You see double-double, and suddenly she's served up a 30-piece, triple-basted filet mignon. But if you actually watch the game, with your eyes open and your brain on, you'd see it for what it is: not dominance, but disorder. Not execution, but entropy. Angel Reese's stat lines are the basketball version of clickbait: flashy, dramatic, and almost entirely misleading. All style, no substance. A headline in search of a story that never quite delivers.